Hello and welcome back to another episode of Stu's Reviews. So it's that time of month again where I do a sponsored video taking a look at some form of financial gadget. In other words, a fintech. You'll probably see me once a month reviewing some form of financial gadget type thing. Most of that stuff has been challenger banks so far. Now, a challenger bank is basically a bank with more modern technological outlook on things to give people like myself and other people of the modern world an easy way to access and manage their money. Now, I've been asked this month to look at something slightly different, and that is something called Wrisk. No, not Risk. It's spelt Wrisk. Now, Wrisk is supposed to be what Starling is to banking, basically bringing insurance to the future. Now, we all know that dealing with insurance companies can be quite difficult. You call them up and you answer a bunch of complex questions that mean absolutely nothing to you, and then they pick a number out of thin air, and that is what they charge you every month. Well, apparently Wrisk is supposed to take that out of it and make things more transparent, bringing you more control and allowing you to essentially govern your own destiny when it comes to insurance. And I'm super interested to find out how they do it. So let's sit back and take a look at Wrisk. So this is the app. Now, a lot of insurance companies straight away don't have a simplified app where you can go in and essentially create your own quotes. So this is quite nice straight away off the hat. Now let's pop in there, and we're met with a pretty simple setup process. Now, I have been through this once already to take a look and sort of prepare myself for this review, but I'm going to run you through this process because I think this is really, really important to take a look at. So, first of all, it says that it's simple, transparent, personal, a flexible insurance that fits your life. A bit cheesy, the slogan there, but nonetheless. Next, it tells us a little bit about how this is going to operate. So, first of all, Wrisk is supposed to give you a score, kind of like a credit score sort of thing. Also, it speaks about one simple plan for your contents, your gadgets, your car, your bike, your travel. Essentially, Wrisk wants to be that one-stop shop for all of your insurance stuff. Now, at this moment in time, I don't think they have comprehensive insurance across all of the sort of things you'd expect, like travel and car and contents and house and stuff like that, but we'll go into that in a bit. I think at the moment they're limited to a few at the time of this review, which is August 2019, so they may have added more stuff, but we'll go into that, like I said, in a bit. Lastly, everything is instant and there is no tie-in, unlike other things and other services where you have to subscribe for a 12-month period or 24-month period. This is instant and it's flexible, so you can leave and come and go whenever you want. So maybe you sell a phone, so you want to remove your phone insurance or whatever. This is an easy way of accessing that information, so you're not paying for what you don't need. So let's get started. Here we go. This is what I was talking about. So at the moment they only have contents insurance. Car and travel is coming soon. When? I don't know, but stay tuned for that. Now let's go into the contents thing. And I want to cover the things in my home, so let's get a quote. Right, so this basically is broken down into things like burglary risk, neighbourhood, property type, flood risk, my age, how many people are in the house, what type of accommodation I'm in, my work, and build year, house build year. I've never understood why the build year of the house changes things. I mean, are older houses more likely to catch fire spontaneously? I don't know, but I hope we'll find out. So let's get started here. Now, where do I live? Some of this I will have to blank out because I don't want you finding out my personal details. Once I've selected my address, it immediately gives me a score and a description of that area. So, when a man with a swag bag comes to your house, it's Santa. The area is at low risk for burglary, in the lowest 30% in the UK. So I've just answered a question and they've given me an explanation about that answer and why they've asked it and the impact that has overall on my insurance. Now, this is something I've never seen before when it comes to insurance. You answer a question normally and you get a which is rubbish. This is superb. This is my score now, so I've got 166 out of 1,000. Right, what type of home is it? It's a bungalow. It is a detached bungalow. Okay, right, so I get 0 for that one. Your home is your castle, but like a castle, you're exposed on all 4 sides and at greater risk of invasion. Good lord. Well, actually, I have got this nearby. This would be useful, except it's not a real one. Right, next step. When is my birthday? Okay. Oh, it tells you how old I am. That's fine. You're allowed to know. Being 30 is great, but the younger people are judged as slightly riskier. You have more fun though. So apparently, the older I get, the less my insurance will be, which I sort of knew anyway. Old people are always going on about how cheap their car insurance is, whereas younger people are constantly crying that they charge millions of pounds to insure a car. How many people in my home? Got a 4-leaf clover? You shouldn't need it. Statistically, having 4 occupants is only medium risk. Or do I own or rent? Generation rent. More people are renting from private landlords now, and no wonder. It means you're seen as only medium risk. Again, I'm medium risk, that's fine. No problem. What's my work? I am self-employed in media. Now this is always the difficult one, selecting your employment. Can I media manager, media technician. What about presenter? Can we presenter or YouTuber? Yeah, let's try YouTube. Does YouTube come up here? No, YouTube doesn't come up here. Risk, you need to add YouTube in there. Presenter broadcasting, that will do. That's close enough. Okay, so I'm my own boss. Self-employed tends to have an appetite for increased risk, apparently. Presenter, based on data from the folks at ONS, this is seen as a higher risk job. I'm in a really risky business. Could I die at any point? I don't know, possibly. Okay, right, property build year. Punk rocker, your home comes from the time of mohawks and safety pins, and this is only medium risk of break-ins or burst pipes. Now, just to clarify, and as a bit of a tip, you need to be as accurate as possible with these. I'm just merely adding a couple of random things so that you can see exactly how the setup process goes. But when you're doing this for yourself, obviously it's so important to get this right, so do all your research first. But it is very, very interesting because it's showing me basically all of the outcomes of the answers I'm giving. Now, after that's done, that should give me a quote. So I've got 431 out of 1,000, which I think is quite low, to be honest. Quote unlocked. So there we go. It's given me a quote initially of £3.81 per month for things in my home. My cover limit is 3,000. Now I can change this as well. I can change this cover limit up to a maximum of £20,000, and I'm happy to pay in excess of £100, for example, and then it gives me £15 a month. So I can change this no matter how much I want, and it will change. As you can see, it gives me each time a new quote. I can also add add-ons. So let's add a mobile phone. I have an iPhone currently. How much would it cost to replace it? $9.99. How much should I pay for it? So it adds £8 a month. You can see how easy this is to add stuff onto your policy. But essentially, once you're finished with that, you tap continue to buy, add your email address, and you're done. Now, obviously, the quote will be different for every single person when you're doing it, dependent on yourself, dependent on what you choose to insure. But overall, the whole experience was incredibly quick and seamlessly transparent. I mean, I don't know how long that took, but 5 minutes? I don't know. I'm going to flash the time in total it took me to get my insurance quote up here. But I can guarantee that was a lot quicker than spending hours on the phone talking to old, boring insurance companies that you might be used to. That was super, super fast. And the fact that I'm not tied into anything, I can come and go and change it at my own will, is incredible. I have never used something so simple when it comes to insurance, and it is a breath of fresh air. If you want to give it a go, give it a go. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check it out for yourselves. But I think you'll probably come to a very similar conclusion that I have, in the fact that it is super easy to use. And that concludes today's review. If you liked today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you back for another episode of Stu's Reviews, FinTech Reviews next month. Or a normal episode of Stu's Reviews pretty soon. See you. Before you go, consider supporting me on my Patreon page by clicking here. It'll give you some great discounts on stuff I've reviewed and helps me to continue doing reviews. If you want to see some fun stuff, click here to see the highlights of Stu's Reviews. And, as a friendly reminder, click this button to subscribe.